This video was created and brought to you by ManageMax. We manage condominiums, HOAs, manufactured housing and apartment communities throughout Southeast Michigan. We're a growing company, and maybe we'll get to your area soon if we're not there yet. We create these videos to share industry insights with current and prospective clients. There will be an opportunity to connect with us at the end, so stick around to the end of the video. Now let's dive in. Hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars flow through your community association every year. Assessments, reserves, vendor contracts, capital projects, and overseeing all of it, a handful of volunteers who answer to no one but themselves. It's not a criticism, it's just reality. The question is, what safeguards do you have in place when that much money is at stake? Here's something that happens gradually, almost invisibly. A board member takes on a treasurer's role. They're good at it. They understand the financials, so they stay. Year after year, term after term. At first, it's convenient. Continuity is valuable, right? But over time, something shifts. The role stops feeling like a responsibility and starts feeling like ownership. My budget, my vendors, my way of doing things. This isn't about bad people. Good people get comfortable too. And when you're comfortable, when you've been in control of significant money for years with minimal oversight, the line between serving the community and serving yourself gets blurry. Not always in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's just small decisions that benefit you slightly more than they benefit everyone else. The longer someone stays, the harder it becomes to see those lines clearly, and the harder it becomes for anyone else to question them. There's another problem that develops alongside comfort: dependency. When one person has held the president or treasurer role on a condominium association or HOA board for years, they accumulate knowledge that no one else has. They know the vendor histories, the contract terms, the budget nuances, the reserve study details. Sounds valuable until you realize what it actually means. Your community is now hostage to that individual. What happens if they move? What happens if they get sick? What happens if they decide they're done? Or worse, what happens if they decide they're never leaving? Communities that rely too heavily on one person don't just have a knowledge gap problem, they have a power problem. Because the person who holds all the information holds all the leverage. And that's a dangerous position for any organization, especially one managing hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in resident money. How do you know if your board has drifted into dangerous territory? There are patterns worth watching for. Resistance to rotation. No one else can do this job. It's too complicated to hand off. I'm the one who understands the finances. These aren't signs of indispensability. They're signs of entrenchment, lack of transparency. When questions about spending or decisions are met with vague answers, defensiveness, or trust me, that's a red flag. Healthy boards welcome scrutiny. Compromised boards avoid it. Institutional memory held by one person. If your board can't function without a specific individual, you don't have a governance structure. You have a single point of failure with access to the checkbook. These patterns don't announce themselves. They develop slowly. And by the time they're obvious, unwinding them is far more complicated than preventing them would have been. What I've described today isn't theoretical. These patterns play out in communities everywhere, often with consequences that take years to repair. Embezzlement, mismanaged reserves, contracts that benefit board members more than residents. It happens more than anyone wants to admit. The boards that avoid these problems don't do it by accident. They build structures that prevent entrenchment, rotation policies, oversight mechanisms, transparency requirements. But designing those structures takes expertise that most volunteer boards don't have. If what I've described sounds familiar, or if you're realizing you never thought about governance safeguards at all, it's a conversation worth having before it becomes a crisis. If you found this perspective valuable, we invite you to connect with us. Facebook viewers, like our page and follow us for regular updates. Feel free to message us directly with your questions or community challenges. Instagram viewers, hit follow and feel free to DM us with your questions or community challenges. YouTube viewers, subscribe to our channel and check out the video description for helpful links. Visit our website to discover our thought leadership content, books, and resources that can transform your community management approach. Whether you're dealing with the challenges we discussed today or other community issues, we're here to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.